Yo, what's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome to another replay analysis where we're looking at Diamond Level 2v2. We have Zerg and Zerg teammates, two double Zergs, and they're going up against a combination of Terran and Zerg. Scratch that, Protoss and Zerg. My bad. We got Champagne and we got Zogger. So, as it is in a 2v2, Zogger was the one who requested this, but I will do analysis for both of you. I will talk about Zogger and Champagne. What is my food? Let's talk about both your playstyles. Sorry, I'm really hungry. I'm starving. So I had to eat some of my fruit and yogurt. Okay, so we got a 17 hatch. And a 17, or okay, I'm just gonna click you. Everyone's vision. You both hatch firsted, okay? I don't mind it. 16 or 17 hatch, I don't give a shit either way. It's totally fine. They both work. They're really minor in the difference, honestly. As long as you guys both got the hatch down and you're getting it blocked by a probe, that's like really nice. Okay, so now let's talk about your builds. Okay. Let's talk about your build. So, Champagne's going for a speedling expand, and Zogger is skipping gas altogether. Okay. I don't like it, Zogger. Your gas is awkward right now. This is more of a 1v1 thing. Not so much of a 2v2 thing. Okay, I'm just going to throw it out there and say that right now. Is it the end of the world? No. It is not the end of the world. But it's more of a 1v1 thing. And the reason why that this build is appropriate for 1v1 is because you can wall off. Like, this looks like beta GM, right? You can wall off in beta GM in 1v1 with, like, Evo Chambers and Roachhorn in your doorway. And then you can rush your lair and you can do all your things and you're happy as a clam. But in 2v2, you can't wall off your doorway. Realistically, especially if you're Zerg and you both are expanding on top of that. Like suddenly now you have to wall there and you have to wall all of that. And you can't do that, especially since you're Zerg, because you can't even build there. You have to build more hatcheries there, right? There's some bullshit. And it would never work. So I'm not a big fan of your build, and we'll talk about it more. And the reason why I'm not a big fan of your build is because if your ally gets attacked right now, this build doesn't actually have any type of suitable defense at all early to help, and your ally would just die. And also, if your ally gets aggressive, you can't support him in any way. It's not the worst thing so far. I'm just letting you know that there are problems with this build versus players who might kill you. And again, you guys are playing Diamond 2v2, so I'm trying to be a little bit more harsh on you for that. Like you're a little bit more up there. Okay. Are you guys scouting at all? Overlords are scouting. Okay, good. I would say your Overlord should actually have touched this first. Only because this is guaranteed not going to have a base at it. Like, it's just not. The only way there could be a base here at this point in the game would be if this was Terran and the guy lifted off and landed. And he just landed his first command center there and, like, built shit in there. But if it's Protoss and Zerg, it's impossible for this base to exist at this point, like this fast. So you know this is not going to exist, so you should definitely want to have touched here with your Overlord, just to get vision of this area first, just to see if there's a base here, because this is the actual natural, and then progress towards his main base. And I would be totally okay as well if Champagne were to have scouted this and then progress towards the Zerg's main base a little bit, just to spot things like how early is the gas, is there a layer yet, back off, whatever. And you could hide like over there in this open area right here. Okay, is the third base going down for Champagne? Yeah, you guys are gonna get fucked up right now. So you're not scouting enough. Either one of you. Neither one of you actually scouted anything. Like, you scouted the natural with the one overlord here for Champagne, and then you scouted an open gold base, which is guaranteed not going to have a base anyways because it's fucking rocks. So you guys are completely blind at choosing what you're doing. It's risky as fuck to play that way. And the only way you can play that way is if you have a genuine way your base can be set up where it can't break. Like if you had walls. And you're not doing that at all, so all you're doing is you're flipping a coin going, I hope we don't die. And then if the coin lands tails, you die. If the coin lands heads, you live. Like you're coin flipping. There's no strategy here. It's just random. So one of you needs to really, like, I would say that whoever's going to go speedlings probably should put more of an emphasis on trying to get in the base and scout. So if we go back now really quick to when Champagne's Lings went across the map. Did they ever go across the map? They never went across the map. Champagne needs to send at least 2 Lings across the map. Or you do. Either one of you does. Someone needs to fucking scout something. Because here's a piece of information as well. Now, not only about your scouts does this make sense, but check this out. Look at this. Ready? This is a sign. Right there. Can I ping it? I can't ping it. There you go. Ping, 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 ping. That's a huge sign. That says, okay, well, look at this hatchery here, guys. It's not done yet. Look at your naturals. They're done, and they've already generated 3 larvae each. You have 1 drone on the mineral line already, and you have 2 more drones on the way, or 2 more eggs about to spawn. This fucking thing has already generated a roundup. It's already been, your queen's already halfway done. His queen's already halfway done. Your hatchery's been alive for a long time. And his hatchery isn't even done yet. And what you can tell from that is he went gas pool first before hatchery. That's a huge sign. Being able to tell how early someone chose to prioritize their natural tells you if they're doing a gas priority or if they're doing a mineral priority. And this is a fucking gas priority. This is someone who expanded with their gas, or he took their gas before they expanded. So yeah, that's aggressive already. And then you didn't even scout the Protoss. For all you know, this guy could have proxy forgated you or some shit. If you scout the natural, though, that tells you how aggressive he was going to be. And if you would have seen that, if you would have seen a Protoss having a natural, that's about the same time as the Zerg's natural, I would say that tells you that the Protoss is playing a build that is like gateway expand. Like 1 gate expand. Protoss should always have a later natural than Zerg because Zerg's expansion is faster. It's just you don't have to build a spawning pool before you expand. But Protoss, if they're going to play standard, they do build a gateway before they expand. That's just how it goes. Because Protoss tech is lots of reasons for it, but just the way Protoss develops, going for gateway first and then going into a core after you expand is more appropriate for Protoss. So this is a very, very, very normal looking expansion for Protoss. This is very normal. It's totally fine. And this is a super late expansion for Zerg. So I would say if you scouted the Protoss, probably you should be expecting a Protoss to be doing a standard build. This could turn into a tech build, whatever. It's just standard so far. It's not all in, is all you would need to know. But this is fucking aggressive for Zerg. That is such a late hatchery, which you only have to question why would it be so late? One of the most common answers is because you're about to get hit by a bunch of speedlings. We'll go back and look at your builds again in just a second. I'm going to take another bite of my fruit. Oh, yeah. By one of the lines. They're just map detail. It's not a big deal. So you're doing beta GM straight up. Your ally is doing a speedling expand to a 3rd base. And then suddenly, masslings flood at you. How much damage does this actually do to you? So you lose your queens. You lose a ton of drones.
Evolution complete.
And during this process, your ally, not only are you losing drones, but your ally is also making a fuckload of lings now. And you're making a bunch of roaches. Like you both, this is now causing an overreaction for both of you. So to prevent this from happening, you guys, one of you needs to fucking scout. And I would say if you're gonna do beat a gym style, and your ally is gonna go for a speedling opener style, honestly, it would make more sense that he's the one who scouts. You guys could both scout though, but it would make more sense that he scouts. You guys have no fucking read at all on what they're doing early game. You have no read. And if you used your overlords better, you could have both gotten a better read with your overlords. And then secondly, if one of you, if just at least one of you would have sent lings into the base, you could have had a better read on top of everything else too. But even with the information that you even, like the little bit of information that you even gave yourself, which was only Champagne scouting the Zerg's natural, that already was enough information to tell you that they're going to be aggressive. That was already an aggressive scout. And the reaction, the proper reaction that should have been to get ready for that. Like, let me explain it like this. This already tells you that he was going to be aggressive by how late it was. So you already know it's going to be aggressive. That shouldn't be a question. What is the question is how aggressive is it going to be? So you should still scout either way to go, are they flooding? Are they just going to do a harass and making drones again? Are they going to... What are they fucking doing? Like, how aggressive is it going to be? Should we be sitting here making mass roaches and mass lings? Or should I just make some lings and we'll be fine? And you guys, the fact that this guy hasn't even lost his lings yet, he's killed a bunch of your drones here and both of your queens, and he's forcing your ally to make a bunch of lings, and he's forcing you to make roaches. If he ran away right now, this is so good for the other team. Look at the incomes now. Look at the economies. You and your teammate are 24 and 28. The enemy team is 26 and 38. He just made you guys overreact like crazy. Because the difference is you are at 24 and you're the other guy is at 26. You guys should be the same. You're down by 2 and the two of you because you're not the one going 3 base, you're the one going 2 base tech. You're the one who has a weaker economy on your team. Now, the other team, your best economy player has 28 and their best economy player has 38. He has 10 more fucking probes than drones. And it's because he didn't make any units. He just chronomisted probes the entire time. So now this puts you guys in a position where it's hard to make this work now. Because the only real option you have now is, do you guys want to go attack? Do you guys just want to go for it now? Or are you guys going to go back into making workers now? And if you guys go back into making workers, well, you're just going to be behind all game now because they just played the shit out of you. And now you can see Champagne's going into workers. And not only that, but now also Champagne is getting fucked over by the standard build of Oracle. And again, you could have told that you could have already assumed that this Protoss is going to play this way if the Protoss has it naturally fast. Does it guarantee the Protoss is going to go Stargate first if they expand really early? No. But it makes sense that they would. I would say the chances are higher now that the Protoss is going to go Stargate because they expanded early. And then that's when your Ling Scouts come in, right? What if you would have literally seen the fucking Stargate, and what if no drones would have died because you guys made spores? Or you just had queens in the right spot at the right time. But now you guys both just lost a ton of workers, and now look at the economy. Yeah. 23 and 25 versus 24 and 40. You guys are so fucking far behind on economy right now. Yo, Bruce, bruh. What's up, bruh? What's up, Bruce? Thank you very much, man, for the prime. What's up, dude? So, I mean, that's rough, right? At least Champagne's got 10 more drones on the way, but that's fucking brutal still. You guys took both so much damage just now. And now Purple's backing in with more lings, being more annoying. And if you guys make more lings and roaches again, that's... Okay, good, you're not. But again, you guys aren't scouting anything, though. You still have no idea what they're doing. You just know that the Protoss has an Oracle in your base, and the Zerg has Zerglings in your base. And you knew the Zerg opened up with an aggressive-looking hatchery. You guys have no information. One of you needs to fucking scout. It's not always just about composition. It's also about how greedy or aggressive your opponents are going to be. And not knowing that means you guess how many units you need to make, which is bad. You guys are both playing in macro-based style, though. So I would say this. 2v2 is a dynamic where you need to synergize with your teammate to some degree. And you guys both seem to be playing the mid to late game styles. You're going for 2 base tech. Your ally is going for 3 base greed. So the best way I would say you guys could supplement each other's playstyles would be blue should be your mobility player, and red should be your power player. That'd be a great way to play it out. You could reverse that, but I feel like it would make more sense that blue is your mobility player, and the reason why is because the options you guys have for mobility are 2 units. Roaches or Lings. Lings are better at being mobile than Roaches are, so I feel like the role of mobility should go to blue because he's going for a Ling-based style. And you should have the role of power, so your style should actually not be Roaches. Your style should be something stronger than Roaches. I do not mind that you made a Roach Warren, and I do not mind that you make some Roaches to start the game off with to be safe in case they all in you. This is where scouting needs to come in. Because if you scout and you realize what they're doing, and they're not being super aggressive anymore, let's say they're going to both tech up and expand, you don't need to be making mass Roaches. I would say you, as the power player, should be doing something more like maybe going for like Hydras and Lurkers or something like that. Like some fucking army that's like really strong and sturdy. And then the mobility player of blue should be doing something more like Ling Bane Muta. Something high mobility that is a lot of control with map control. And then after Ling Bane Muta is invested into, Ling Bane Muta player could become like an Ultralisk based player or a Spire based player. Either one would work for blue. And then you, as the red player who goes like Hydra Lurker, you should either go from Hydra Lurker into additionally adding on Spellcasters or something like that to increase the power of your Hydra Lurker. Or you should go into Spire yourself as well to transition to the final power of what Zerg can do. Like the ultimate supreme power. Because if they eventually go for like massive Sky Toss and you're still going Hydras and Lurkers, you're going to... And like the other Zerg is also going for like maybe Broodlords or some shit, you're going to probably have a bad day. Air is always usually the in-game like supreme power in all races. But that's what I would say you guys should probably play this game like. Just throwing it out there. Like you guys need to get roles for each other. And blue should be your scouting mobility player, and you should be the power player that fortifies your side of the map and then pushes eventually. And you guys could also synergize attacks with each other if you get really creative with it, but in general, that's probably how you should be playing it. This is something for Champagne that's not ideal. He's undervaluing minerals to oversaturate gas now. Every base is getting gas saturated. The third base looks great, but the natural looks like fucking garbage, and the main base looks kind of meh as well. This is 3 plus 5 is 8. That's 8 drones down right now into his economy that he shouldn't be down. And not only that, what's he gonna do with the next gases when they're done? Is he gonna saturate those right away and stay 8 drones down? Or is he gonna make drones to fill in the mineral lines again and then eventually take the gas, like when the gases are just sitting there done for 30 seconds or 40 seconds? Doesn't make any sense that he's making gas this fast on those gases. This is inefficient as fuck. Yeah, he's saturating the gases right away. So now all that's happening is that his mineral lines are going to be super poorly saturated for a long time. It's not ideal. This is weak ass economy right here. He is going to fix it, and he's going mutas. I agree with his style, but I disagree with how he's going about it. Too many fucking gas too fast. Not enough minerals. Mineral priority. He's putting too much of an emphasis on the mutas by playing this way. When what you guys should be doing is Ling Bane should be running around the map denying expansions. Like, here's what should be happening right now. Red should be defending your bases. Red should be in your bases defending the shit. You guys need fucking scout, like better creep spread as well. Like your creep spread is... If you're both playing defensive, you need some type of a fucking scout. But red should be all about defending the base. Full on. Blue should be all about disrupting their base. So blue, the fact that blue has all these links sitting here is incorrect. It's not great. Blue should be scouting the top left of the map. Blue should be scouting the bottom right of the map. Blue should be more assertive about controlling the map. And if you spot something like this as blue, you fucking deny that. You kill that, and you slow down the pacing of your opponent's expansions. Because the problem if you don't do that, if you're a mobility player does not do that, You allow your opponents to be as greedy as they want to be, and if they're really greedy, what if these guys had this base and this base and this base right now? What if they just took fucking mass expansions right now, and you were like, okay, these guys have like 8 bases right now, or like 9 bases. We could have easily killed so many of these bases in the replay. Looking at this again, holy god, they made so many bases. We just didn't know that because we never scout. You have to scout as a mobility player, because that will happen to you sometimes, and you will lose games because of that if you just never attack. Blue should be denying expansions, while red should be protecting yours. And then if you guys ever notice that they're both together, you group up as well. And the way that should happen is you should be grouping up defensively. If they both defend their bases, you do not attack as red. You push your creep, guard your bases, expand your economies, get your power more set up, tech to whatever your power is, Hydra Lurker or whatever the fuck you want to go for. Set up your build. If you guys ever did want to attack, though, if you did want to attack as the red player, the way you would need to do that, the only way that would make sense is if you did a conservative attack where you had zero intention to fight their army, and instead you wanted to poke their economy and then immediately retreat. So an example of how to do that would be, what if blue was like, hey, yo, red, they're both at the 9 o'clock base right now. I'm right here. They're both right there, and they're trying to prevent me from my mutas from killing the base. Like there are fucking void rays or some shit. Or what is he actually going for? Where the hell are Teal's units? Void rays, yeah. He's up here, sorry. Let's just say the void rays are like defending against the mutas over here. And let's say that the purple queens and also purple's army is like sitting right there too. So then blue, your teammate, is like, yeah, they're both here. And you at the same time go, all right, I'm Nidusing the fucking gold base. And just like 3 lurkers or something. Not even your whole army. Just like 3 lurkers pop out of that Nidus and you wipe out an entire mineral line. And then another Nidus sets up like right there. Something conservative. Do not fucking commit your entire army to go die. Just something conservative. Something that will do damage. Like 5 roaches pop out of the Nidus. You start killing a mineral line. Whatever. Something that's not going to be super scary if you lose it. But at the same time, you always have the idea to retreat. So if you were to, for instance, let's say you Nidused here and you popped out 20 fucking Hydras. For the love of God, you better drop like changelings or something out of that overseer that you have scouting for the vision to put the Nidus down, and go changeling sitting right there, changeling sitting like right there or something, and you just wait and see, okay, are they coming to kill my units? Because the last thing you want to have happen is let your Nidus die and then your army's trapped and then you die. However, if you scout it with like a changeling and you wait, okay, they're on their way back to defend the base, maybe you have enough time to snipe the Nexus and then you immediately retreat in the Nidus worm. Or you could go, okay, they're way too close to me. I don't have enough time to kill that Nexus without losing all my Hydras. Conservatively run back in the Nidus and retreat. Because at the very least, making him pull his mineral line or killing a bunch of probes is already worth it. So you got to really, you could attack as the power player. You just got to be conservative with it. If you're going, all right, I'm doing a Hydra drop, and then all your overlords die that dropped in Hydras in the base, and let's say you lose like 20 fucking Hydras, getting 2v1'd by like Zerglings and Void Rays and Banelings or some shit over here, and all your Hydras die, that is not how you play your position at all. That's the way you throw the game. Conservative attacks is what you do. And then it's the same thing about your teammate. By no fucking means, if he has both of them grouped up by being annoying and aggressive, should he just dive both of their armies by himself and attack that and die. Conservative aggression for him too, but he's trying to harass. Conservative harassment, more or less. He's not, it's still aggression, but he's being more harass based. He's not like, he shouldn't be, if he's the guy who's playing the greedy mobility style, he's most likely going to have relatively medium-sized or small-sized armies, so he shouldn't be taking big fights against both of the enemy opponents together. You guys need to just be like setting up the game, essentially, more for yourselves. That's all it really comes down to. And you guys are not doing anything in that realm right now for yourselves. You guys are just kind of like letting them do whatever they want to do. And behind this, what are you making? You're making a bunch of drones now as well. You're taking and saturating for your 3rd base. Your ally is taking a bunch of mutas now. Here comes a bunch of Lings and Banes. Scouting, right? Scouting. Like, where is your units? Where are your units right now? Are they all dead? No, you have 9 roaches. What the fuck are they doing? You gotta back up, dude. You gotta fucking react. You're crazy. Hey, you A moved right there. You're putting so much pressure on your teammate right now. Because you're not able to, like, you have to you have to be confident to defend the base. Well, both of you have to be confident to do your job. He needs to control them more, and you need to control your base more. If one of you can't do that, your team will fall apart. Because all that happens if one of you don't do your job properly is it means that the person who's doing the opposite job of you has to do both jobs now, and it means it's way harder for that person. And now you both have a lot of drones. You just made another round of drones yourself. And now you're going hydras. Okay, hydras are okay. I'm okay with it. But hydras by themselves are not really power. I would say you definitely need lurkers as well in 2v2. You guys have like no you're creep spread, and you as the defender, you're not doing anything. You really if this is double Zerg, blue should not be creep spreading much at all. Blue should be barely creep spreading if anything at all. Red should be the one creep spreading a lot, because that only increases how easy it is for you to defend your base. And you're not spreading creep much at all. Like, you're barely doing it. And for what, like, the amount of time that has passed, the amount of tumors that you have down right now. Like, you barely are spreading creep. And the more creep you have, the easier it is to spot these attacks happening from further away. Much easier. Okay, now finally blue's getting across the map, being aggressive. This is exactly the kind of shit you need to be doing. Now blue needs to recognize that there are Phoenix here. So blue and you now have 2 options. You guys either need to consolidate a plan to where you're both going to deal with the Phoenix together, or if blue's going to do this by himself, he has a couple options. One would be if he fears the economy of Perdos, maybe he should make corruptors right now as well. Or if he has a way better economy than Perdos, then he could just keep making mass metas and overpower the Phoenix with just straight up fucking raw numbers of just like 30 metas versus like 9 Phoenix. And he's using his lings. This is good. This is exactly what he needs to be doing right here. That's the kind of shit blue needs to be doing all game. He just started doing it at like 11 minutes. He needs to be doing this fucking all game. And then you need to be defending your base. The fact that your army is so clumped up in the bottom right, I don't like it. Like, what if they attack blue right now? How are you going to help him? It's going to put more pressure on him to have to turn around and he'll just die otherwise. So what you need to be doing as red is you need to be guarding your base from all potential avenues of aggression. So your army should be a little bit down here, a little bit over here, like guarding this ramp into your base. You have 3 hydras there on a rally point, I would assume. Yeah, it's a rally point. Too much overcommitted defense at the bottom. And you need to spread your creep more, seriously. You also need, like, you both need to use changelings more as well. Like, I would say, realistically, blue should be using zerglings mostly, but you should be using, as red, you should be using changelings. You should actually have like 2 overseers or something with your army, and you should periodically be throwing overseers, or changelings across the map, just like walking them around, like towards their base, so you can help scout, like help your teammate scout a little bit for what's going on. And then while your teammate, like, because again, blue should be focused really heavily on not allowing expansions to go down. And you could help him by scouting tech in the bases, and like, while changelings run across the map, you might even spot things like this. Banelings just rolling around and shit. This is not at all what blue should be doing. Throwing his units away in a fight by himself is not what he should be doing. Conservative harassment. That was a waste. Okay, now this is when it gets scary. This is when it gets scary. And I would say this. This is what I would say. Because this is fucking scary for your teammate. Your ally just... So, first of all, you guys got knocked behind early game. These guys, I would say your opponent team outplayed you guys early game. They forced reactions from the speed lane attack from purple, and they also teal also killed a bunch of drones from your teammate as well. Blue. Or, yeah, blue's drones died to teal's oracle. So, blue should not feel like he's super far ahead right now, okay? And if blue remembered the earlier stage of the game and did not feel like he was super far ahead, the worst thing in the world he can fucking do is challenge a Protoss player who's going for Phoenix, who is on a very similar economy to what he's on. Because equal economy Phoenix versus Muta, Phoenix don't even come close to losing. The only time, that's why I was saying earlier, the options that we're talking about with Mutas, the only time Mutas will ever beat Phoenix is if you have like 5 base economy Zerg versus like 2 base Phoenix. You're like more than doubling their economy. So if this guy's on 3 bases, blue would need to be on like 7 or 8 bases right now. Full fucking income coming in that and to make that many Mutas that fast to really overpower these Phoenix. If you don't have that, good luck. Like you're going to lose your Mutas probably. You're going to have a bad day. So what blue is doing right now is he just overcommitted his army right here. He threw away all of his lings on the left side of the map against all the queens and hydras and lurkers. And now he's overcommitting his Mutas as well. So what blue is basically doing is he's dropping all of his units in the toilet and flushing the toilet. Because all these Mutas are going to die right now. And now this puts pressure on you. This is a mistake by your teammate now. Because now this puts pressure on you as the defender who's going to go for a death ball. Because now you're about to have to fight a 2v1. Because your opponent is currently fighting a 2v1 without any purpose behind it. Like there's nothing forcing him to do this. He's just getting impatient and he's jumping the gun essentially. And he's throwing his units away. And now you have to 2v1 with whatever remnants of new army that blue can remake. Because like right now, blue's supply is at 130. Your supply, I mean, you should be maxed out too by now. I'm not going to lie. You haven't really done much this game in terms of like multitasking, like attacking or anything like that. You haven't really lost units other than the very, very, very early beginning when your drones died a little bit. But you have had plenty of time and you have also plenty of resources to have been maxed out for a while now. You're just kind of playing a little bit slow. So that just comes down to you. Obviously, I would say just need to play a little bit faster. Try to at least. This is again a diamond level game. This is not really appropriate for diamond level play. But I think earlier in this lesson in my Twitch chat, you said your gold league and your ally is Masters League. Well, that's a big mismatch in terms of skill level. So do your best. Just do your best. But yeah, just know that you're not... You guys are both fucking your jobs up, essentially. Your ally throwing his army away made no sense there because there was no synergy there. And you don't have his back really much at all because you're not macroing effectively enough. Like, I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean. So, remember how I said if you're going to go Death Ball with Hydra, you could literally do something like Hydra Lurker Spellcaster or like Hydra Lurker into like Spire yourself. If your ally wanted to start getting really fucking crazy on attacking, you could have actually gone into either like Vipers or Corruptors to also assist him. But that needs to also be coordinated for your teammate to not jump the gun before that. The only way, again, it would ever make sense for him to jump the gun is if he knows he has an economic advantage big time. Otherwise, he's just going to throw the army away. And if he can't really get the damage done that he's looking for, he should play more conservative. Like, he should not dive the mutas in a way where they're going to just be fucking killed. So here's a way, let's just say you don't have Viper, you don't have Corruptor, and let's say he also doesn't want to make Corruptor himself, but he is expecting to take a fight against a bunch of mutas in a second here. You know what you guys could have done? Have a couple of fucking scouts in the middle of the map to make sure you're not going to get counterattacked. Because you want to know if you're going to get attacked from the north side at all. And then at the same time, have all of your teammates' mutas engage this base from this cliff right here. Like, you could stand right here with all of your Hydras and he could be right here with all of his mutas. And let's say suddenly Phoenix arrive. If he flies back right over your Hydras, and your Hydras are right there, what are the Phoenix going to fucking do now? They're going to die if they go any further. So it's like guaranteed damage and guaranteed retreats. And here's an even crazier thing. What if you got Burrow? And what if you burrowed 30 fucking Hydras right here? Because you know if the mutas go in here, it's going to aggro the Phoenix. And then the mutas, and the Phoenix aren't flying around with an observer, by the way. It's just Phoenix. And then the mutas fly in here and attack this base, and then they fly back to this location. And the second the Phoenix are all right on top of all your Hydras, and the mutas are like right here, and the Phoenix are trying to just like stack up in this area to like try and micro against the muta, fucking every Hydra upros, and you just knock out like 8 Phoenix and like that, because you have like 30 Hydras pop up and start slamming fucking Phoenix like crazy. And then suddenly, what if that is enough to turn the tide for like now, let's say it was like 15 Phoenix versus like 25 muta, but now it's still 25 muta, but now instead of 15 Phoenix, it's only like 7 Phoenix. And suddenly, mutas can now overpower Phoenix as he then dives forward. And some of those Phoenix might even be almost dead. You have to synergize with your teammate a little bit in some way with the units you guys are both making. And you have to also understand, it's not even just units you're making. It's the goal of your role in the team. And the mobility player cannot just fucking suicide his army and take fights like that. And the Deathball player cannot win 2v1 fights if the mobility player throws his army away. You guys have to synergize more. Did Vibe say what race he's going to ladder on tonight? I've already been streaming for almost 6 hours. I'm honestly probably not going to stream for much longer. I'm sorry to break it to you. Sorry, I didn't know. No worries. It's all good. No worries. I don't mind. I just wanted to... I don't want you to get disappointed. Because I will play ladder after this, but probably only for like half an hour. Or like maybe an hour max. I'm not going to play for like 12 hours. And now you guys are both going Hydras. This doesn't make any sense anymore. Champagne has been invested into melee or why is he going range as well? I don't understand. He should have been going, like, he's mobility. He is mobility. This doesn't make any sense that you're both going Hydras, because all you guys do now is you don't synergize anymore again. Because your concave is going to need to be so big, and it will never realistically happen. The only way you guys would actually get a good fight is, let's just say hypothetically, one of your opponents was right here, and one of your opponents was right here. And you guys both have these like massive fucking concaves where it's like you both are like half of a semicircle that goes around in this big fan of Hydras. And it's like literally fucking 100 Hydralisks are like fanned out and like waves of like triple stacked Hydras. That's the only fucking way you would ever have a good concave. Or if you had like a full surround with like 50 Hydras here and like 50 Hydras here or some shit. Surrounding an army in the middle. It's just impractical. So what one of you guys should be doing is one of you guys should be going again still for mobility or for death ball, and the other one should be going for like blue should be going for mobility or death ball, and you should be going for
thanks for
one
all
form
the
of a death ball.
D.
Oh, Delinia. Delinia. Thank you very much for the 10. Oh my god. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 10. So blue should have stuck to the concept of, again, of mobility, or he should have started going into a death ball. And it should be a death ball that synergizes better with what he's already kind of committed to. Mobility does not transition well into Hydra Death Ball. The only way mobility can transition into Hydra Death Ball in a decent way is if your other teammate is not already doing the same thing. Like if let's just say, instead of you being a Zerg player, let's say you were a Terran player and you were going for fucking mech. And then suddenly blue got out of Link Main Muta and now he wants to go Hydra Lurker. That's okay. It's not the worst. It has its purposes that could still work there. Those units aren't so copycat of each other. Like they have different ranges and different maneuverability, different concave situational stuff that's going to go on there. Like tanks and lurkers can overlap damage really well because they don't have any way to block each other. Tanks have more range than lurkers, so tanks are in general going to be behind lurkers. So that works great together. But if you both go Hydra Lurker, you're just going to be butt-fucking each other all day because you're going to be blocking each other in the fight. You're both going to be like, excuse me, back up, I'm dying. Okay, no, go forward. Okay, you're dying. It's just going to be like a mess. So really what should be happening is blue, because of the fact that he chose to go for a Spire, he should be going, honestly, if he's going to go Deathball now, he should be going for Broodlords. Or like Corruptor Broodlord, something like that. Not Lurker Hydra. You should be going Lurker Hydra.
Hey Vibu, haven't been able to join in a while, work's been nuts.
Oh.
Hope you're well, my dude.
I'm pretty good. Thank you very much, Pete's, for the 9. I hope work being nuts is a good thing for you. I hope you're busy in a good way. But thank you very much, dude. Much love. Hell yeah. Yeah, I can already see the problem with this game is going to be you guys are just going to have an army that does not synergize with each other at all. Your guys' army is going to literally cock block each other like crazy. So like right there, your Hydra's got caught out versus Lurker Hydra from your opponent. And now your opponent is going to have to fight a 2v1. Or not your opponent, your ally is going to have to fight a 2v1. Like, it's just so clunky. Because this guy, he has like, your teammate has no fucking way to deal with the air. And you had no way to deal with this guy. And the reason why is because you're not even going Lurkers. You're just going mass Hydras. And your teammate is going mass Lurkers. You guys are just making like one big ass Lurker Hydra army because one of you goes mostly Hydra, one of you goes mostly Lurker. But that means that both of you need to have like perfect fucking synergy. Because if either one of you is ever in the wrong position at the wrong time, you are completely defenseless against whatever's happening. So just imagine if you actually had an army like this. What if you had Lurker and Hydra together, and you could suddenly counter out this guy's army? You could zone him out and straight up. And what if your ally had mass Corruptor, which could fucking counter this guy? And then imagine if your teammate, who was going mass Corruptor, also then started making some Broodlords, and suddenly your Hydras and his Corruptor and your Hydra can help cover the Broodlords because you can fuck with the carriers that way. And then your Lurkers can zone the fight out in a way where they can't really push you. And his Broodlords, with his the Corruptors and Broodlords that he has, like the Broodlords specifically, can push the base because they're mobile siege pushing forward. It's just, you guys are just, you're making it way more complicated than it has to be. Because you guys are making it a situation where you have to like flawlessly move around with each other. You know what it's like? It's kind of like this. You guys are basically taking a 2v2, which could be a relay race. It could be like one of you sprints as fast as you can, and then you like pass over the baton to the other guy, and then he sprints as fast as he can, and you guys both get to play the game you want to play it as fast as you can. But instead of doing it that way, it's like you're both saying, you know what? Let's not do 50% of the track for you and 50% of the track for me, and we'll alternate. Let's do both of us at the same time, 100% of it, and let's tie a fucking rope around our legs with like the middle leg, and we're gonna treat this like a fucking 3-legged race. And it's like you're both handicapping the crap out of each other when you play this way. Because you have no way to deal with half of the units in the game, and he has no way to deal with the other half of the units in the game. You guys have to be perfectly aligned to set up any type of a good fight. And it means it can rotate so fast where it's like, okay, go forward, okay, back, okay, go forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward. And if you guys don't do the exact same thing the exact same time every time, I lost everything. Ah, shit. Okay, now just back up because I'm dead. Oh no, you died? Yeah, you said back. Well, I thought you meant forward. Like it's a fucking mess. They say what rank they are. It's a diamond game here, but one of them, red is gold and blue is masters. So again, there's a little bit of a skill disparity there, so it's hard to do this. But yeah, 2v2 is not like 1v1. You have to kind of play roles in 2v2. You have to play with your teammate. It's not the same thing as 1v1. So do your best that you can at the job that you have, but you need to just first of all know what your job even is. See, like now Blue's army is getting much better. Now he's actually going Corruptor. I want him to get rid of these fucking lurkers, and I want him to go Corruptor Broodlord, and if you go Hydra Lurker, so much better. Because then you both can do your own thing, but you can still work together. See, like right now, you just fucked the game up again here, I'm sorry to say. But you, like, this is basically a three-legged race where you guys are both trying to take a turn around a corner. It's like a fucking traffic cone in the middle of the grass, and you guys are both trying to do as fast of a turn around it as you can. And then you just fucking fell over. You literally just lost balance and fell on the ground, and your teammate is like trying to keep his balance and not fall with you, but like the rope tied between your ankles is pulling him down a little bit, and he's like trying to maybe like plant his hand on the ground so he doesn't fall entirely on the ground right now. Like you just fucking threw yourself on the ground right here. Because your whole army is nowhere even near the lurkers, and you're dead right now. You're getting run over currently by Ultra, Baneling, and then a little bit of Hydras behind it. All, like, the majority of your Hydras are about to die. And now the lurkers arrive. And you're down to like 1/4 of the Hydras you just had. And now the lurkers are going to win this fight. But here's the problem. Where's Protoss? How much does Protoss actually have? Thank God for you guys that Protoss is like got nothing. Because if he did have an army, you guys would lose the game right now. And again, that wouldn't be so complicated if you guys were both doing your own thing but working together. If you were the one going for lurkers and hydras both moving together here, and your teammate wasn't like 10 seconds after the fact going, wait, where are you? Oh fuck, you're dying? Okay, I'm on my way. But instead, if you burrowed your own lurkers there and then you put your hydras behind it, suddenly much better for you. Does require more out of you, not gonna lie. It's not something I would ever tell you to do in Gold League and Bronze GM and solo 1v1 play. But in 2v2 play, you have to be able to, like, you know the quote from like the movie 300 where it's like the phalanx like falls if one weak link is even in it, where like if one guy can't hold his shield properly, that guy fucking dies and then everyone else dies as a result of that. That's like team games in StarCraft. It's so true. If you can't do your job properly, it means that you're going to create vulnerabilities in your teammates. So team games is really just about trying to figure out what your job is and do it as good as you can. Try your, like, obviously you can have fun and do whatever you want. I mean, that's up to you, right? But if you want to win games, as much as possible, you have to be able to handle your job. Because if you can't, it just means your opponent has more jobs now on top of them, which is going to only make them worse at their actual job that they're doing, because they're splitting their attention too much now, and like they're also their investments too much. It's a brutal world out there, but that's just the reality of how team games go. But in this position right now, again, what I would tell you guys that you should be doing is I would say you guys should either both be going for Spire, or you should be going for Lurker Hydra, and he should be going for Broodlord Corruptor. And the reason why that's so huge is because it creates the strongest army that you can possibly have to engage with in some fight. And this game right now is going to be dictated here pretty soon by whoever controls the middle of the map, the two middle bases. Like, if you can not only control the middle bases, but if you can also kill their fucking top left expansions, you immediately win the game. So I would say their main base has literally no merit to attack in any way. This is irrelevant to attack this base now. The only way you ever should attack their main base is if you had, again, like a Nidus Worm or something like that, and you wanted to send in, like, maybe like the blue player wanted to send in like fucking 30 lings with adrenal glands and level 3 melee, and you're just wiping a base out with minimal investment. That would be okay. That's fine. But you should definitely not focus your whole army, both of you, on going to the south side, because it's mined out. And it's also the highest defensible location because it has all this fucking investment already there. But look at the north side. If you kill this base, look what else is there. Fucking nothing. It's a nexus. Look at this base. What's here? It's got drones mining and that's it. And if you're able to like, he's moving spines up there, which is fine. But if you're able to actually overpower their army at all, and you kill this base, the game is literally over because they have no income anywhere else. They're mining out everywhere else. You're doing it. Holy fuck. You're going lurkers. It's like you guys are listening during the replay. Hell yeah. Your teammate's still making lurkers too, though. I don't like that at all. It's too much of a waste of... Like, this should be broodlords. Seriously. You guys are, like, you're overlapping. And you see how, like, right now, this is what I'm talking about when it's like one person does both jobs and it's weaker. This is not like, lurkers in theory should beat ultras and hydras, but not when it's like fucking 4 lurkers and then 3 lurkers. Needs to be like what you have right here, like 12 lurkers or like 15 lurkers. Then yes, lurkers beat ultras. But your opponent or your ally just lost his entire ground army again, and now all he has to help you is like 12 corruptor or 13 corruptor, and that's it. Because he keeps making too many units from other roles. This should be pure corruptor right now, and possibly even some broodlords. Like, what if instead of having 13 corruptor, what if this was 26 corruptor and like 8 broodlords? Oh, suddenly then, yeah. Broodlords help block the ultras in front of your army, so it makes it...
Always glad to support a great streamer.
Yo, serious misgivings. Thanks for the 16. Much love, dude. Appreciate you, dude. If the broodlords existed here, it would help block out the ultras, so it makes it harder for them to engage your lurker and your hydra. Also, the broodlords could help kill the opponent's lurkers and the opponent's hydras, things like that. And then suddenly, none of your hydras die as a result of this, which means your hydras help his corruptors kill the fucking carrier void ray. You guys both have an army that is self-sufficient, but synergizes really well. The reason why you lost that fight is because blue had no army supply. Blue had 13 corruptors to help you, and that was it. And it's because he lost so many other units in other places, and he's still going back to like making lings, making more lurkers. He's doing your job and his job at the same time, and he shouldn't be. Because that's how you're never going to win fights that way. It's not really true power that way. And yeah, like Ling Run, I agree with Ling Run buys. That's nice. But imagine if these things had adrenal glands and melee upgrades. So much more effective. See, like, that was a mistake by Teal. Why the fuck is Teal fighting you by himself? It makes no sense. It's stupid. Like, people just do crazy shit all the time, right? Like, the fact that Teal is over here trying to fight you by himself makes no sense because you have mass hydras, which is literally countering some carrier. He has 6 carrier trying to fight, like, 40 hydras. And I would say what you just did here, this is YOLO. This is fucking YOLO. Because you just committed your army to no return. And if purple comes back, you're 2v1ing now, and you die. I would say the only way I would ever agree with you doing something like this, again, would be if you made a Nidus Worm in your base, and when you went, oh, I know for right now, purple's up there, because blue has his attention. I'm going to make a Nidus Worm, like, right here, And I'm going to walk through and break this base, break his army, break this wall, and then by the time purple comes down and gets ready to get on top of my army, I'm going to just run into my Nidus and evacuate. If you did that, I'd be like, fuck yeah, awesome, really well done. But you're not doing that. You're literally just going, these Hydras are all just going to die. This is panic move right here. You're just letting, like, look how much time your Hydras have, right? Because blue is being annoying. But now purple's coming back to ruin your world here. And now all your Hydras are going to die. So he like thinned you out a little bit. And then teal is finishing you off. So not ideal. Not the greatest. And what was the net gain of that? I mean, you killed some of purple's army, which I'm not going to lie. That was nice. Purple's army was actually smaller than what it could have been. There was only like 5 ultras trying to fight also like 30 hydras, which is still kind of scary for the ultra guy. But if you had like, what if it was like ultras, lings, and banes like it was earlier over here? That would have killed you so hard, right? Because you have just hydras. But what the result of you, besides killing purple's few ultras that he had there, was you killed an empty base. You killed a nexus and a couple cannons next to this nexus that were literally next to 115 minerals. This fucking doesn't even matter. Those hydras were worth more than what this base was worth. You just threw away a bunch of money essentially. And here's the problem now too is that you now claim all the remaining economy on the map. So your opponent has, or your ally has no fucking income left. So you just, even though you might be thinking to yourself, well, I'm just going to spend my bank though. I have a lot of bank. I'm going to just spend it. You're actually taking bank away from your ally and you're throwing it in the fucking garbage because you're not using it effectively either because you're throwing it away in their base. So you're sucking up. You're basically like, what you're doing is you and your friend have like a vault with $10,000 in it and you just picked up $2,000 and you lit it on fire right in front of him and you were like, what do you think about that? Huh? And he's like, bro, what the fuck? We fucking need that. No, we don't. Not anymore. Again, whoever controls these last bases is probably going to win the game. That's really what it's coming down to. And no one is controlling them right now. This is a moment when, again, you just got to try and synergize with your teammate. And blue can't synergize with you at all because he has 50 minerals and masslings and no income. Because all the income is left in your bases. And what are you doing? If you like, feed your teammate some money, I would say. You're going mass hydras. Mass hydras don't win against ultra carrier together and baneling and shit like that. They don't. That was another very cost inefficient fight for you. That was like, you probably killed maybe 2,000 resources or maybe 3,000 resources of your enemy and you lost about 6,000 to do it. You're taking a bad trade essentially. Like, you need to make lurkers here. Like, you need to go back to like what we were talking about earlier. If you have lurker hydra, if you had lurkers here as well, you would have won that. Lurkers suddenly zone out all the ling, all the bane, all the DT, and they also fucking wreck the ultras as well. They don't zone the ultras entirely unless you have like 16 lurker, but they will damage them a lot. They will weaken them, and then they will eventually kill them. They just won't kill them immediately. Yeah, now you're actually at a point where you've spent your entire bank, and blue hasn't been able to mine minerals for the last 7 minutes of this game or something. And now what did you make? What's your army? It is mass hydras again, and now you're just going to lose the game now because mass hydras aren't going to win this fight. They are not going to win this fight. Not only that, you're also fighting against Storm now too. You're fighting against tons of AoE. cleave from Ultra, Baneling, Storm, Archon AoE. That was good right there. That was the first time I've seen you. I don't know if you guys were sharing control or not there. But that was the first time I've seen you micro the Hydras in a way that made sense. Where, you know, because again, you have to do something with them if you have no lurkers. But you actually tuck them between some buildings, and you made the Ultras get really stupid ass engagements. So you're gonna win the fight as a result of that. That was not bad. That was definitely not a bad trade for you. But it was also, you could also argue that that was stupid by your opponents. Why the fuck did Teal fight you by himself? Why did Teal not retreat back to the Zerg player and fight you with both Ultra and Carrier together? People do dumb things all the time. Like they could have killed you if they would have grouped up too. And now I would say, now you guys are dead. Because finally the last result of this is Teal is now fully mining the space. And you guys have no way to punish that at the moment. And you guys are losing your expansion. So you guys are officially broke. And they aren't. So time is not on your side. Also, you guys at some point in the game, like, you prevented them from expanding a little bit later on. So purple is actually still also mining the space that doesn't even exist for you anymore, really. So yeah, they're both mining versus you guys aren't. You guys just played more inefficient throughout the game, is really all it is. Just make lurkers with your Hydras, and suddenly your gameplay is going to be so much stronger. And then your teammate needs to trust that you can go lurker Hydra, and not go fucking lurker Hydra as well. And do more of a mobility or a Deathball style through the means of like Lingbane Muta or like a Spire with like Broodlord Corruptor or some shit like that. Can we see resources lost? Yeah, like there's gonna be like a lot of Hydra death, right? Red soaked up most of the resources and threw it away in the garbage a lot on the right side of the map. It's just a lot of Hydras that were just inefficiently done. And then blue, it's not all red's fault either. Blue also made some mistakes this game. Blue should have literally stuck more to the mobility style, or again, a different death ball than Hydra Lurker. There's no synergy to your guys' army when that was happening. At all. And then also blue needed to, you guys both need to scout more. Blue needed to harass a little bit earlier in the game, and you guys both need to scout more. Use some changelings or something. Yeah, you're dead. There's no way you can win. You have like 10 Hydras trying to fight two armies that are like getting closer and closer to massive fucking amounts here. This was awesome. Good. Yo, that's a good mindset. Hell yeah. Having fun. I love it. I hope I didn't discourage you in any way with this replay analysis. Yeah, you guys know I'm usually pretty brutal on people with replay analysis, so I hope this wasn't too brutal.
Almost Diamond 3, thanks to your B2GM series. I don't think I would be putting this much effort into SC2 otherwise.
Yo, Behind Insanity, congrats on the almost promo to Diamond, man. Push a little further, get it. Thank you very much for the 16 as well. Appreciate you, dude. And welcome back for another month in the VFam, man. Thank you. But yeah, no, good stuff. Zogger and your friend Champagne. Almost. You know, you guys are getting there. Just really gotta make sure you guys synergy with each other a lot more. And hell yeah, the sky's the limit. But guys, I hope this. If you're a teammate, if you're a team player out there as well, if you're a person who likes to play team games, hopefully this helps you too. Hopefully you find it informative and insightful and things make sense. But thank you guys for watching. I will see everybody in the next one, and whatever that might be. It might be probably not be the gym. Probably gonna be either a World of Warcraft video or maybe a coaching video. I don't know. But I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take it easy. Much love, and thanks for watching. Peace. See ya.